This is Parrish Future Prophecy Part 5. And this first segment of Parrish Prophecy 5 will cover dreams from letter A to letter H. This is section 10, letter A. There are 10 dreams in this segment that begins with the letter A. There are 9 dreams about airplanes, and there's 1 dream about an arrow. The first number in this segment is the number 1. This segment is called Section 10, 1 Airplane Dream, or S10, 1AID. In the month of April 15, 2010, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. Today I had a light dream. I dreamt I stood over Ground Zero, where the Twin Towers once stood, in the year 2001. It was daytime, and it appeared to be quite gray out. I seen several white construction workers moving wooden boards back and forth. Then I noticed that some of the construction workers were now under muddy water. The brown-like water were over their heads. Most of the white construction workers, I believe, were on their way to construct the new skyscraper that will soon take the place of the fallen World Trade Towers. I sensed that the water that were now right over the heads of the workers came upon the workers by surprise. Then the next things I witnessed in this dream was now I was home at Halsey Street. It was also daytime here, but the daylight was bright and sunny. I stood in the vestibule of my Halsey Street home, and then the next thing that I noticed was now I was on the 3rd floor of my brownstone home, and I was inside my father's room. My father was not in his room. I looked out the window and I spotted military men running upon the stoop of my home. I seen a black military man who wore green fatigue rushed up upon the stoop of the house. Then he entered inside the room where I still was stationed. Then the black military man began to ask me questions in a kind of angry way. I don't remember what he was asking me, but I became afraid of him. Then the very last incident that took place inside my dream was now I was at Ashford Street, where I grew up in. I was on the corner of Ashford Street and Workman Avenue. Actually, I stood at the edge of a green lawn of my old friend who I grown up with at Ashford Street and back in the 70s. And in this dream I wore in the spring or summer wear. Then after I noticed where I was, I suddenly seen a very wide, white, and narrow commercial plane fly over the roof of my old friend's house. And this is the plane that I seen fly over the roof of my old friend's house. The plane was very wide, it was very long, and it flown very low over the roof of my friend's house that I grew up with in the 70s. This plane must have been 70 or 80 feet above the ground I stood on, and the plane also must have flown 20 feet above my friend, home over the roof. The sight of the sudden appearance of this strange aircraft almost made me go into cardiac arrest. I was truly frightened at what I seen. This airplane headed down Workman Avenue, which is opposite direction to John F. K. Airport, and more close to Starrett City. Then I woke up. The next number in this segment is the number 2. This piece is called Section 10, 2 Airplane Dream, or S10, 2AID. In the month of May 29, 2010, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. Today I dreamt that I was walking around somewhere in an American city. It was daytime. The sky above me was very blue. Then after I gazed upon the blue sky, I then beheld a strange looking plane in the air. This plane was small, like a normal sized automobile. Then I quickly noticed the red and white lights on the plane's side. This particular aircraft spun around in a circular formation, and then it stopped and hovered over my head. And I have a drawing of this particular plane, which was like the size of a normal automobile. The plane flown around, and then it hovered over my head. The plane was about 100 feet in the air, and from nowhere a white man appeared before me, and he began to discuss with me about the red and white lights on the wings of the aircraft that continued to hover over me. I believe the man told me that the red light and the white light on this plane does not mean that this airplane is a commercial plane. The next number in this segment is the number 3. This piece is called Section 10, 3 Airplane Dream, or S10-3AID. In the month of July 2nd, 2010, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. Today I had a light dream. I dreamt that I was once again inside my old house at Asher Street. I was on the 3rd floor, and I looked out the window. It was nighttime. Then suddenly I seen a gigantic commercial aircraft fly over the roof of my house. This airplane was very low to the ground. The airplane was also tilted towards its left side. The plane kept flying towards the direction of John F. Kennedy Airport. Then I lost sight of the plane because it continued to fly out of my sight. Then another smaller aircraft also flown over the roof of my house. This smaller aircraft was also heading towards John F. Kennedy, and it too flown in the air, slightly tilted towards its left. Then I noticed a great burst of air began to kick up in the sky. I started to realize that the great burst of wind must have come from a powerful wind storm, which had probably pushed the plane near ground level. Then I believe a male voice told me these words. The wind had brought these planes down towards the earth. Then I woke up, and I have a dream drawing of the airplane. Like I said, I believe it was nighttime, and I seen this first plane fly over the roof of my house, my old home at Asher Street, and the plane was very big, and it was slightly tilted towards the left. And then after this plane disappeared towards John F. Kennedy Airport, I seen a smaller plane, which was also tilted towards its left, and it too flown toward John F. Kennedy Airport. The next number in this segment is the number 4. This piece is called Section 10, 4 Airplane Dream, or S10-4AID. In the month of July 5th, 2010, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. Today I dreamt that I was at Asher Street, and I looked out from my younger brother's bedroom window. I believe it was daytime, maybe a late afternoon. I looked out the window for a while, and then, lo and behold, suddenly I heard a sound of planes coming in from the left side of the sky. There were probably 5 or 6 semi-small aircraft flying south. These planes flown in a kind of formation. I sensed urgency inside this dream. Then after the planes had flown by, I then spotted a fleet of helicopters, which I will talk about these helicopters in Parrish Prophecy 5, letter H. And I have a drawing of these fleet of airplanes. They were gray in their appearance, and they flown like in a straight line formation, and they were semi-small. Okay, the next number in this segment is the number 5. This segment is called Section 10, 5 Airplane Dream, or S10 5 AID. In the month of July 23rd, 2010, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. Today I dreamt I was once again in my old home of Asher Street. I was in my brother's bedroom again, and I was looking out the window. I believe it was a late evening. Then a gigantic commercial airplane flown very low, even like very low, more lower than the other big plane I've seen fly over my house in my previous dreams that I just mentioned. In this particular dream, I was able to see the plane's landing gear and some of its tires. Also, I spotted the plane door was open wide. The airplane kept flying lower to the ground beneath. As if it was trying to make an emergency landing. The aircraft was trying to fly towards John F. K. Airport. Then I spotted another airplane fly over my home. This plane was a cargo plane. It was white, like in a commercial plane, and then it also flown, looked like, towards John F. K. Airport. Okay, as this plane continued to descend its heights towards the ground, and the second plane also flew out of my sight like the first plane. Both planes was flying very low, and it was like as they flying further away from my view, they were descending almost like to the ground. The next thing that happened in this dream was, now I was looking at a brick wall, and then I seen firemen, leaders of firemen stations, such as captains and stuff, in a dark blue uniform. These firemen officers were all in an elongated van of a sort, which was in motion. The men, these white captains or high officers in the fire department, in the month of July 23rd, 2010, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. Today I dreamt I was once again in my old home of Asher Street. I was in my brother's bedroom again, and I was looking out the window. I believe it was a late evening. Then a gigantic commercial airplane flown very low, even like very low, more lower than the other big plane I've seen fly over my house in my previous dreams that I just mentioned. In this particular dream, I was able to see the plane's landing gear and some of its tires. Also, I spotted the plane door was open wide. The airplane kept flying lower to the ground beneath. As if it was trying to make an emergency landing. The aircraft was trying to fly towards John F. K. Airport. Then I spotted another airplane fly over my home. This plane was a cargo plane. It was white, like in a commercial plane, and then it also flown, looked like, towards John F. K. Airport. Okay, as this plane continued to descend its heights towards the ground, and the second plane also flown out of my sight like the first plane. Both planes was flying very low, and it was like as they flying further away from my view, they were descending almost like to the ground. The next thing that happened in this dream was, now I was looking at a brick wall, and then I seen firemen, leaders of firemen stations, such as captains and stuff, in a dark blue uniform. These firemen officers were all in an elongated van of a sort, which was in motion. The men, these white captains or high officers in the fire department, expressed a very unhappy look upon their face as this elongated, I guess, fire truck or whatever it was continued to also disappear out of my sight. In this dream, I had like some type of picked up as if the planes might have crashed, and the firemen were dispatched to go to this airplane crash area, and it appeared also that these captains, or these firemen captains, anticipated that they will see the worst, and I also kind of believe that other planes have fallen out of the sky, and more or less the fire department in this dream looked like they had a handful with rescuing people that may have still survived the airplane crash. And I have two drawings of this particular dream. Okay, this is the first plane that flown over the house, and it flown very low, and I was able to see the plane's wheels, and its cargo door was slightly open, and the plane continued to descend as it was flying towards John F. K. Airport, I believe. And here's the second plane that flown over the roof of Asher Street. This plane was a little bit lower, and it too also flown towards John F. K. Airport as it continued to descend towards the ground. The next number in this segment is the number 6. This piece is called section 10, 6 Airplane Dream, or S10. I'm sorry. The next number in this segment is the number 6. This segment is called section 10, 1 Arab Dream, or S10 1A B D. In the month of August 31st, 2010, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. I seen an Arab man giving out things to people. I approached him, then I also seen him giving out supplies to people around me. I believe he said something to me which were, it appeared to me that he told me that I spoken eloquently. Then I asked for what he was giving out to people in front of me. He didn't really say anything, but he just gave me 2 pouches, and I looked in the pouches, and the pouches, one of the pouch contained boxes of Lucky cigarettes, and in the other pouch contained a box of White Puff cereal. I walked away from the man, asking myself why I was given a bag that contained a great deal of Lucky cigarettes. This incident happened after my immediate family members began to cry for some reason in this dream, and I was talking to my mother about the Arab person giving me 2 bags of items. And one bag, like I said, contained Lucky cigarettes, and the other bag contained a box of White Puff cereal. And really, I don't know why my family member was crying in this dream. They were more or less like in the background. And after I told my mother what was in the pouches, I woke up from this dream. The next number in this segment is the number 7. This segment is called Section 10, 6 Airplane Dream, or S10 6AID. In the month of November 5th, 2010, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. Today I dreamt that I heard Rush Limbaugh on the radio. I don't remember exactly what he was saying. Next, I seen Rush Limbaugh on TV or on the internet. Rush Limbaugh was extremely skinny. He was wearing a long sleeve shirt and a pair of jeans. Next, I recall I was walking down a street, and I think it was in the evening. I walked until I noticed that my long blue sleeve shirt was torn at the back. It felt as if I was going to a security guard job. I told myself I better call him at the office, so if I do appear late at the security guard job, they can hurry up and find a replacement for me if I come in late or don't show up. And then I looked at my watch, and I believe my watch said 1:05 p.m. Next, I was on a block that I don't really recognize. And then I gone into a building that kind of like a high school. And then I stepped out of this building, and then I seen a bench, and I sat down in the bench. I think it's like it was evening time in this particular time period in this dream. And then I realized I was in some type of park or in somebody's backyard. It was, I realized in this dream, it was nighttime. I was sitting on a chair or a bench, and my back was against a wall. Then I looked up, and I seen a smooth looking airplane fly very low overhead. And this is what the little airplane, the long airplane looked like. Looked like this, if you can see it. It was very smooth looking. And like I said, this plane flown overhead. And I said to myself, this plane is flying too low. After I seen the plane fly overhead, I then spotted a small blue light flying in the night sky. And then I seen a meteor flash across the sky. Then I said out loud, look at the UFO and meteor. The next number in this segment is the number 8. This segment is called Section 10, 7 Airplane Dream, or S10 7AID. In the month of December 5th, 2010, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. Today I dreamt that I had a brief dream. I dreamt that I sat in a cockpit of an airplane and I observed a white airplane pilot. I believe this airplane pilot was a white American. He was a man. I seen this man try to figure out why he has no control over his plane. The pilot had already landed his plane at an airport, and this particular plane kept on running down a runway. The pilot was trying to a building that kind of like a high school. And then I stepped out of this building, and then I seen a bench, and I sat down in a bench. I think it's like it was evening time in this particular time period in this dream. And then I realized I was in some type of park or somebody's backyard. I realized in this dream, it was nighttime. I was sitting on a chair or a bench, and my back was against a wall. Then I looked up and I seen a smooth looking airplane fly very low overhead. And this is what the little airplane, the long airplane looked like. It looked like this, if you can see it. It was very smooth looking. And like I said, this plane flown overhead. And I said to myself, this plane is flying too low. After I seen the plane fly overhead, I then spotted a small blue light flying in the night sky. And then I seen a meteor flash across the sky. Then I said out loud, look at the UFO and meteor. The next number in this segment is the number 8. This segment is called Section 10, 7 Airplane Dream, or S107AID. In the month of December 5th, 2010, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. Today I dreamt that I had a brief dream. I dreamt that I sat in a cockpit of an airplane and I observed a white airplane pilot. I believe this airplane pilot was a white American. He was a man. I seen this man try to figure out why he has no control over his plane. The pilot had already landed his plane at an airport, and this particular plane kept on running down a runway. The pilot was trying to stop the plane, but the aircraft continued to run forward. Then I believe the pilot notified the airplane tower that his plane will, within 5 minutes, roll into the traffic or expressway. Then I looked out of the plane window and I seen a freeway before us, or near us. Before I left this dream, I seen a long, narrow white airplane having difficulties with stopping itself on another runway, probably at the same airport. I sensed that the planes might have been taken over by remote control. The next number in this piece or segment is the number 9. This segment is called Section 10, 8 Airplane Dream, or S108AID. In the month of December 18, 2010, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. Today I dreamt that I was somewhere in an American city. It was daytime and I was inside some kind of mall. I might have been at the South Seaport or at the Battery Park. I also believe I was on an elevated floor, maybe the second floor or third floor inside this particular place. And this facility I was in had people walking around inside it. I seen mostly white people walking around this place. Then I noticed that there was a balcony in this mall, and I'd gone out into the balcony because the balcony door was wide open. And while I was on the balcony, I seen I think I went an ocean or river, something in that type of area. Could have been a Hudson River or the East River in the distance. The water was kind of like moving kind of fast. Next, I felt that I was now in downtown Brooklyn around Court Street, in a Regal movie theater, or in that area, or in that particular place. And this place, this movie theater I was in the lobby, and I looked out the lobby's window. And if anyone go to a movie theater downtown Brooklyn, Court Street, the Regal Theater, and if you happen to go to the fourth or fifth floor, and in the lobby, there's a big window where you can look out, and you can see water further down, and you may be able to see a bridge, I think so, the Verrazano Bridge. And this is what I seen in this dream. Then right after I sensed I was inside this movie theater, I was taken back into the same place, this same mall that might have been at Battery Park or the South Street Park. And I was back on the balcony again. And suddenly I seen a plane descending out of the sky, and it flown behind some buildings. And then all of a sudden I seen blue smoke behind buildings where this particular plane had fallen. And other people rushed out the mall and came on the patio with me. We all were shocked. We could not believe what we were seeing. Then I looked over the railing of this balcony, and I looked down, and I seen plane parts. I seen the front part of the plane was cut in half. I seen people floating in the water. I seen luggage and briefcase also floating with the dead people in the water. And the dream was like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And before I left this dream, I seen a security guard person waving his arm in the air inside this mall. I left this dream because it was horrible. It was also scary just to see this plane falling from the sky and crash somehow maybe into the water and just break apart. I mean, it was terrible because in this dream it was such a nice day out. The last number in this piece or segment is the number 10. This segment is called section 10-9 Airplane Dream, or S10-9 AID. In the month of December 22nd, 2010, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. Today I dreamt that I was in a room with black people. The black people in this room with me at first appeared to be middle-aged black men. But when I looked upon these individuals closely, I discovered the people around me were women in men's clothing. So after I discovered these individuals were not men, I began to preach to them about what the Bible said about women wearing men's clothes. Then these transvestites became angry with me. Next, I found myself seated in a kind of chair or seat inside a play or movie theater. I was watching, I believe, Medelia in an off-Broadway play, or Medelia is in some type of movie. Tyra Perry Medelia. And Medelia in this movie or play was in the nude with other nude females. Next, I observed myself walking around in a hallway, and that kind of reminded me of a high school hallway. And then in this hallway, I came upon a very elongated or long white table. And there were other white tables inside this hallway, or it could have been a hallway that led me to a cafeteria. And then while I was in this place, I picked up something in my spirit. My spirit revealed to me about some type of coming hijacking. Hijackers will hijack a plane. And these hijackers that I picked up in this dream, I kind of sense that they may be Arabs, or maybe look like Arab looking men. Now, in this dream, I did see men that looked like Arabs. These Arab-looking men were at an airport, and I believe in this dream they took over an airplane, and they rolled the airplane into an airplane hangar, and they exited out the airplane, and they go into another aircraft that had like a sheet over it. And these individuals, these Arab individuals, complain about this particular plane doesn't have a commercial logo on it. Well, anyhow, they gone into this plane, and they gone into the pilot cockpit of the plane, and they were recalibrating the plane instrument. And then after this dream, that showed me the Arab men now in another airplane, I was sitting down again, and this Asian lady came and sat next to me. She had luggage with her, and she didn't say much. And then an Australian person, or this person, a white man, came to me, and he told me that he was Australian and that he's waiting for an Australian flight to come in. And then the Asian lady that sat to my left also said she's waiting for the same Australian flight to come in. And then before I left this particular dream, I recalled that these Arab men that took over this plane, that I seen that they were recalibrating the plane controls, was mentioning something about Australia. And then I woke up from this dream. Okay, before I leave letter A of Parrish Prophecy 5, I just want to show two drawings that I made about when I was at Battery Park, and standing on Battery Park at the South Seaport, standing out in some type of balcony connected to a mall. This is more or less a conception of this giant airplane falling out of the sky, which I seen in this dream. And like I said, the plane fell out of the sky, and this plane fell. It was water here, and this plane fell behind buildings, and then I seen blue smoke. And then before I left this dream, I looked over the railing of the balcony, and I seen the front part of the plane was cut in half, and I seen dead bodies floating around in this plane. I mean, in the water. The next letter in Parrish Prophecy 5 is the letter B.